Hajj occurs during the month of Zil-Hajj and it is obligatory on every Muslim who is able-bodied and can afford it. It is the fifth and final pillar of Islam. It lasts 5 days from the 8th to the 12th of the month. The talbiyah is constantly recited throughout the journey. Prohibitions while in ihram. There are several kinds of behavior that are prohibited while in the state of ihram. Just a few are cutting nails or removing hair, hurting or harming anyone, thinking or acting on impure thoughts, wearing perfume. During the states of ihram, one must practice patience, tolerance, and kindness as much as possible. The first step in preparing for the Hajj is wearing an ihram. Men wear 2 unstitched sheets of white cloth, while women wear a scarf and their ordinary clothes. The ihram builds a sense of unity and brotherhood for the pilgrims. The journey of the Hajj begins in Mecca, where tawaf and sa'i are performed. The pilgrims then leave for Mina. This is also known as the tent city. In Mina, pilgrims devote their time to prayer and in the remembrance of Allah. The next day, pilgrims make a 14.4-kilometer journey to Arafat. The day of Arafat is considered the most important day of not only the Hajj, but also the most important day in the Islamic calendar. Arafat is home to the Jabal-e-Rahmat, that is the Mount of Mercy, where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, delivered his final sermon. Pilgrims dedicate their time in Arafat to prayer and seeking forgiveness from the Almighty. After sunset, the Hajis make a 9-kilometer journey to Muzdalifah, where they spend the night under the stars. They collect pebbles for Rami that takes place the next day. At least 49 small pebbles must be collected per person. The 10th of Zil-Hajj is Eid al-Adha, a day celebrated by Muslims all around the world. Pilgrims begin the day in Muzdalifah and head back to Mina before dawn. Once in Mina, they perform their first Rami. During Rami on day 3, each person throws 7 pebbles at the largest pillar in the Jamarat. This act is the symbolic stoning of the shaitan, as was first done by Hazrat Ibrahim a.s. and his family. Once complete, pilgrims perform their sacrifice duties. This is also in honor of Hazrat Ibrahim a.s., who was willing to sacrifice his own son. Pilgrims then either trim or shave their hair to demonstrate their sincerity and humility to the Almighty. The pilgrims can now remove their ihram and cleanse themselves. They then return to Mecca to perform tawaf and sa'i. The Hajis then make their way back to Mina. Pilgrims spend 3 days in Mina. On each day, they perform Rami, but this time throwing 7 pebbles at each of the 3 pillars. They begin with the smallest pillar and proceed to the largest one. After their time in Mina, pilgrims return to Mecca for the farewell tawaf known as the Tawaful Wida, which marks the completion of their Hajj.
Never ever miss out on an update from ToffeeTV.com. Subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell.
ToffeeTV.com